Sorry about the lighting here. I just wanted to get some thoughts out real quick before I go to bed. And I wanted to talk about why doing seam retention is the most important thing that you can probably do in your life as a man. And it's a very big topic, and it's um it's hard to describe what this practice can do for you before you try it yourself. And there are so many things and factors to include in why it's a good practice. But if you look at the world right now and just look at where we are with men and women and society, and just where everything is going, and also how much we've lost touch with our nature and our like inherent consciousness and our spirituality. Like, we're so far away from our true selves because of society and because of what we're taught and what we value today. And when you start doing semen retention, it won't change everything for you. You won't automatically be spiritual or like connected to yourself, or um you can only do semen retention properly where it'll give you the spiritual benefits, not just the physical. You can only do it when you're ready, or you can only start when you're ready. Because if you if you try to force these things in your life, it'll never work. Like, a lot of people want these hacks or like a technique to kind of like bypass life or bypass some parts of life. You see it in the comments on videos, and you see it everywhere. Like, people are so obsessed with tips and tricks and hacks and techniques. Like, how do I like get to this point as quickly as possible? And what you have to realize is that the things that you want to jump over, that is difficult or challenging or painful, or you have a lot of fear, that is where you need to go. Like, you need to jump in the areas that your mind is telling you not to go, because that's where you grow. And also, like, you that's where you see the depth in the world, and you integrate that depth as you come out the other side after you've gone through stuff. And with semen retention, what it gives you is this like spiritual foundation. If you're ready, like I said, you can retain and just have the physical benefits. And you hear people um say that they don't feel the benefits, or they don't feel this uh thing compared to the other person. But the thing is that we're all um different when it comes to our spirituality and our openness. And this practice definitely um, is better and easier to understand if you're already open in yourself, if you're already like if you are at that point where you feel like you want to change and you feel this like internal calling to do something, but you don't really know what. You just know that you have some sort of calling inside you. And that's also why you watch a video like this. Like, you would not watch this video if you weren't ready, or if you weren't going towards or vibrating at a similar frequency as me. And yeah, what it'll give you is the foundation to dive deeper into yourself. And when you retain, you build up your own life force. Like the semen, if you spew it out, that is, the semen itself can create life. So if you hold it inside yourself, you're literally creating life inside yourself. And what happens is that you have a bucket of energy inside of you. If you or envision that you have a bucket inside of you with energy. So every day when you wake up, you have a limited amount of energy. And you also have spiritual energy. And every day and all the choices that you make will drain your energy, or like you'll lose some. You can also gain some energy from different things, but for the most part, we're losing energy throughout the day. And like, if you just think about it for a second, if you if you visualize energy, because a lot of times when people talk about auras and energies and stuff like that, they make it to be this like imaginary thing, or not imaginary, but like it's hard to conceptualize. But if you actually think about energy, like if you light a candle, like the flame is the first energy. Like you have the flame, and then that energy goes to heat up the air around the flame, and then that air goes to, I don't know, somewhere else. Like energy always takes on a new form. So if you think about your own energy, like when you wake up every day, you have a bucket of energy. And if you like wake up and start scrolling your phone, like putting your thumb on a screen and scrolling, that is pointing your internal energy into that. And I just wanted to mention that because it's so important to think about energy as this um almost like very physical thing, but it's also um yeah, spiritual, like I said. And what semen retention will give you is a bucket in the physical bucket, like where you can go and you can work out, you can um yeah, lift weights, go to the gym, run, whatever. Like you have a lot of physical energy, but it also fills up your spiritual bucket, and also your emotional bucket. Like it's a very potent and strong energy, and it's very um I forgot the word, but like you can use it in many areas. So what you're doing when you're retaining, and the reason it's so important is that we live in a society that is so far from our true nature. And most people never question how they live their life. We just, like I said, when you wake up, a lot of people just open their phone, start scrolling. They, um, like, I can't, I don't even, know what to say. Like, there's so many bad habits that we have, um, that is just draining our life force and just making us miserable. And it's really sad when you start thinking about it. But my point is that you have to become aware of this, and then with retention, you have excess energy that you can transmute into, like I said, physical stuff um, where you can work out harder, you recover faster, and your your muscles feels fuller, your hair gets more nutrients. Like, it's all the physical stuff, but also you have so much energy that you can transmute to your mind, and that's where the real key is to this practice. Because, like I said, if you're open to like your own spirituality and your own um, intuition and your own inner voice, semen retention will make that um, so much easier. You will have so much more clarity, so much more perspective on life and on yourself, and what is important, what's not important. And the things that I'm talking about now, like, it's very intricate details when it comes to, is like, if you listen to a video on retention, they might say a lot of the same things that I'm saying, but I'm just hoping that you understand the depth of what I'm saying. Like, you can't skip any steps here. So if you're retaining, and if you really want to take this practice, or not this practice, if you really want to take you yourself seriously in your life, you have to be ready and you have to commit. And how you do that is you use your consciousness and your mind that now has um like expanding energy. You use that to really reflect and think and plan and feel. If you have emotions, feel it. And also, just one point here is, like I said, think about energy as a physical thing as well. Because if you have trauma or suppressed emotions, like if you have childhood trauma or stuff like that, that's also something that you should and you need to work on that to make semen retention work um, better. Because if you have trauma stored in your body, like in your muscles, you will, like, or if you have trauma from your childhood, you can unconsciously contract muscles in yourself. And there's a book called The Body Keeps the Score that talks about this a little bit. But like, if you see um people who suppress their emotions a lot, like they're often very sick, they have back pain and stuff like that. And that is the physical um expression of your internal trauma. And if you have trauma that you haven't worked through yet and you start retaining, let's say, it can be other things as well. But when it comes to retention, all the energy that you're building up down there, like you want to transmute it all throughout your body. But if your own body is filled with muscles that are blocking the energy from flowing through you, it won't reach your mind as much as it could. And you might even feel like retention is a negative thing. You might feel like this is just too much pressure. It's just making everything um, like you'll feel stressed instead of like this confident and open person. So yeah, to summarize, the reason why you should do retention is because you gain the clarity to see how far you are from your true nature. And especially with, corn and all of this, like it's so humans have found like the worst addictive parts of our brain, and we have just like we've been smashing that part of our brain for like just think about how widespread and how infiltrated this thing is in our society, like the dopamine addiction and everything. It is, yeah, we're we're so far away from where we should be. And we as men have the ability to step out of this, and you have an ability to get out of your own situation if you feel lost, purposeless, or, just you just in the world but you're not living. Retention can definitely be part of the journey to get you to where you want to be. So as you retain, you build life inside yourself, and you also automatically reduce a lot of negative and bad habits um, by the practice itself. But also, you learn so much about becoming a man, like becoming a true man with discipline, integrity, and like having a healthy mindset and being a protector and provider in the world. And when I say provider, I don't mean that you have to buy stuff. Like when you as a man build up your energy, you can give to the world in different ways. And I'll talk about that in a different video, but you can give to the world through your energy in any area. Like it's I'm not talking about money here. And also women, like even though you're on retention, you can still value and appreciate women. Um and yeah, that's also a very important point to not fall into the trap of going into retention and then starting to um talk negatively about women. Like I see a lot of people online do that as well, and I'm just like, you guys are not getting it. it's it's not good, and it's not what retention is for. So yeah, if you're a man and you haven't tried this before, I definitely suggest you try it. It'll be bumpy, it'll be hard, it'll be probably the most difficult thing that you've done, and it'll take many tries for most people to get some decent streak going. And in the beginning, it can be nice to, um, to count the days and kind of get familiar with what happens when. But the the way to actually do this is to change your mindset into making it into a lifestyle. So yeah, and if you've been doing it for a while, I hope this was somewhat informative. Um, but yeah, I just had to get those thoughts out before going to bed. So I hope you have a nice day wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.